The foundation of rot right now. As you watch this video, the United States is adding about $8 billion to its national debt. Not every month. Not every week. Every single day. We've reached a terrifying milestone in February 2026. The U.S. federal debt has officially crossed $38.6 trillion. But here is the number that should actually keep you up at night. For the first time in history, the interest we pay on that debt has hit $1 trillion a year. Think about that. We are now spending more money just to pay the interest on our past than we are spending to defend our future. Our interest payments have officially surpassed the entire U.S. defense budget. Washington calls it a budgetary challenge, but halfway across the world, Beijing calls it an opportunity. They've realized that you don't need to fire a single missile to take down a superpower. You just have to wait for the math to fail. And in 2026, the math is failing. The stealth sell-off for decades, China was America's biggest landlord. They bought our debt, and we bought their plastic. It was a marriage of convenience. But the divorce is now finalized as of this month. China's holdings of US Treasuries have plummeted to just $682 billion. Have you ever wondered what's really going on behind the scenes of the global economy? There's a huge shift happening, and it involves China, gold, and a plan that could shake up the financial world as we know it. For years, China was one of the biggest buyers of US debt. It was a stable investment, and it helped keep the global system running smoothly. But recently, something has changed. China has been quietly, almost stealthily, selling off its U.S. Treasury bonds. We're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars worth. So where is all that money going? The answer is gold. While China is selling used debt, it's been on a massive gold buying spree. For over a year and a half straight, the People's Bank of China has been adding tons of gold to its reserves. This isn't just a random shopping trip, it's a strategic move. By stocking up on a real, physical asset like gold, China is building a solid foundation for its currency, the yuan. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. China is also a leader in developing a central bank digital currency, often called the Digital Yuan. Imagine a world where this digital yuan is backed by all the gold China has been accumulating. A gold-backed digital currency could be incredibly attractive to other countries looking for a stable alternative to the US dollar. And it's not just China. The BRICS nations Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa are also working together. They're developing their own payment system called BRICS Pay. This system could one day compete with SWIFT, the network that currently dominates international money transfers. A separate payment system would give these countries more independence from the dollar-based financial system. So what does this all mean? We're witnessing a carefully planned strategy. By selling U.S. debt, buying gold, and developing new financial technologies, China and its partners are preparing for a future where the U.S. dollar might not be the only king of the hill. It's a complex global chess game, and the pieces are moving right now. The world of money is changing fast, and these developments could redefine economic power for decades to come. Picture this. It's mid-February 2026. While everyone is distracted, the BRICS nations quietly launch something that could change everything. It's called DCMS, the Decentralized Cross-Border Messaging System. Now that sounds technical, but here's what it really is: a direct challenge to the US dollar's dominance. Based in Brazil, this system uses the same Pix technology that already revolutionized instant payments across South America. But this isn't just a new app. It's a massive digital bridge. Imagine it connecting India's UPI payment system, China's SIPs, and Brazil's Pix into one seamless global network. The implications are huge. A small business owner in Mumbai can now get paid instantly by a customer in Shanghai or a tourist in São Paulo. The payment happens in their own local currencies, completely bypassing U.S. banks and the entire SWIFT system. For decades, the US dollar was the only toll bridge for international trade. If you wanted to do business globally, you had to pay the toll and play by Washington's rules. Now, the BRICS nations have just built a 6-lane superhighway right next to it, and they're letting everyone drive for free? The most critical part? It's completely sanction-proof. The US can't just flip a switch and shut it down because they don't own it. They don't control it. For the first time in nearly a century, a real alternative to the dollar-centric financial world exists, and it's gaining traction faster than anyone predicted. This isn't just about finance. It's a fundamental shift in global power. Now, let's fast forward a few months to July 2026. This is where things get really intense. The USMCA, that's the big trade deal between the US, Mexico, and Canada, is up for a 6-year review. It's the agreement that keeps trillions of dollars flowing smoothly across North America. The US is trying to play hardball. They're telling Mexico and Canada, if you want to keep trading with us, you have to block Chinese investment and cut ties with Beijing. They're threatening massive tariffs, hoping to force their neighbors to choose a side. But here's the problem with that strategy. While the U.S. has been focused on building economic walls and forcing loyalty, China has been busy building bridges across the global south. From Southeast Asia and Latin America to Africa and the Middle East, country after country is getting tired of the dollar's wild swings and the strings that come attached to it. They see a rising China offering investment, infrastructure, and a new financial system that isn't controlled by Washington. So, when the U.S. demands its neighbors abandon China, it's not as simple as it sounds. Mexico and Canada now have other options, other powerful friends. The American ultimatum might just backfire, pushing its closest partners to diversify their alliances even faster. This whole situation isn't about a sudden dramatic collapse. It's more of a surgical decoupling. China isn't planning a direct confrontation with the United States. Instead, they are methodically building a parallel global system, a system for trade, finance, and technology where America is no longer the main character. In this new world, America's staggering $38 trillion debt isn't a global problem anymore. It's just America's problem. As other countries move away from holding US dollars and debt, the U.S. could find itself in an economic feedback loop where printing more money only makes the problem worse. This strategic move by China and the BRICS is like a game of Jenga. They aren't trying to knock the tower over in one move. They're just carefully removing one block at a time, weakening the foundation until the whole structure becomes unstable on its own. While Washington is focused on geopolitical drama, this quiet economic restructuring is happening right under our noses. This is the real battle of the 21st century, and it's not being fought with missiles, but with financial innovation and strategic alliances. So, this brings us to the most important question of all. If the dollar starts to lose its global reserve status and the value of your savings, your retirement, and your assets is tied to a currency that fewer and fewer countries want to hold, what's your plan B? Think about it. Do you believe the U.S. government has a realistic plan to fix a $38 trillion debt hole, or are we just rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic, witnessing the slow decline of an economic empire? This is a heavy topic, and I really want to hear what you think. Is the idea of a gold-backed yuan a genuine threat to the dollar, or is it just fear-mongering? Are we overreacting, or are we not paying enough attention? Let's have a real conversation about this in the comments below. And if you want to stay ahead of the curve and understand the major economic shifts that the mainstream media is too afraid to cover, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.